Dear students, in this video session, I will give you an overall view of the first pre-university English syllabus for the academic year 2020-21. The first section is prose and poetry. There are totally 9 units in this section. I will read out the titles one by one. The first one is The Gentlemen of the Jungle. It is a short story. Second one is a poem, and the title is The Schoolboy. Third one is Urumanushan. It is a short story. Fourth one is Babar Ali. It is an autobiographical account of the achievements of Babar Ali. Fifth one is a poem, and the title is If I Was a Tree. Sixth one is Watchman of the Lake. It is a one-act play. Seventh one and eighth one are poems. Seventh one is The Farmer's Wife, and the eighth one is An Old Woman. The last lesson or story is The Two Gentlemen of Verona. This is the first section that comprises prose and poetry. In this section, questions for 1 mark, 4 marks, and 6 marks will be asked. You ought to know how you have to write answers for 1 mark, 4 marks, and 6 marks questions. While preparing for the annual examination, you must keep some important points in mind. The first thing is read the short story, the poem, or the one-act play thoroughly. The knowledge of textbook is quite important. After reading the text thoroughly, you must read the notes provided thoroughly. Afterwards, you must write 1 time or 2 times so that you can write the answers correctly in the exam. An adage in English goes like this: practice makes man perfect. Therefore, you have to write the answers, practice them well, and learn properly. This helps you to write well or correct answers in the exam. When you refer the model question paper in the textbook, or we will be providing a PDF of a model question paper and answer key as well. When you go through the question paper, you find some instructions. You ought to read these instructions before you start answering. I'm talking about the prose and poetry section. The model question paper tells you all the things that you ought to follow to perform in a satisfactory manner in your exam. The first thing is the time duration. The time duration of your exam is 3 hours 15 minutes, and the maximum marks is 100. When you go through the instructions, you can find four. Four instructions are given. Follow the prescribed limit while answering the questions. This is the model question paper given in your textbook. And one such model question paper will be sent to you on WhatsApp in the form of a PDF. You can refer those question papers as well. The first instruction is follow the prescribed limit while answering the questions. What is the prescribed limit? See, for 1 mark questions, the answer must be written either in a word, a phrase, or a sentence. This is the prescribed limit. When you read the question for 1 mark, sometimes one word will do for the answer. In that case, write one word without any spelling error. If you write the answer without any spelling error, and if the answer is correct, you will be awarded 1 full mark. Unless the question demands you to write a phrase or a sentence, don't do it. In other words, if the question demands the answer to be a phrase or the answer to be written in a sentence, do it. Otherwise, one word will do for the answer. That is the meaning of follow the prescribed limit. And the second important instruction is write the correct question number as it appears on the question paper. I repeat, write the correct question number as it appears on the question paper. You have plenty of time, and before you start writing the answers, it is advised to read the question paper thoroughly. Understand the questions and then write the answers. Also, you must be very cautious when you write the question number in your answer booklet. You must write the correct question number as it appears on the question paper, because you need not copy the questions that are there in the question paper. Just the question number will do. For instance, you are answering 14th question. That is a question for 4 marks. In some excitement that the question is very easy, or you know the answer very well, you may, by oversight, write the wrong question number. Instead of 14, if you write 15 or 13, then you will lose 4 marks because you have written the question number incorrectly. Consequently, your answer will be totally wrong. Therefore, you ought to be very cautious when you write the question number in the answer booklet. Next, 1-mark questions attempted more than once will be awarded 0. Dear students, don't try to mislead the evaluator, especially when you are answering 1-mark questions. Attempt only one time. I repeat, when you are answering 1-mark questions, attempt only one time. If you write the answer 2 times, I'll tell you why you may do it like that, writing 2 times. You may not be sure of the answer, and therefore, in the beginning, when you are answering the 1-mark questions, you may write the answer in the front page, in the first page rather, because you are very doubtful of the answer you have written. Somewhere in the last page or after answering all the questions, in the end, you may write the answer for the second time, and the answer may be different from what you have written already. Even if your answer is correct, or one of the answers is correct, you will be awarded 0 because you have attempted the question twice, which you are not supposed to do in the exam. Therefore, remember, 1-mark questions attempted more than once will be awarded 0. The fourth instruction is, for multiple choice questions, choose the correct answer and rewrite it. Multiple choice questions. For such questions, 3 choices will be given. Out of the 3, you ought to choose the right one and rewrite in your answer booklet. For example, from the lesson The Two Gentlemen of Verona, a question goes like this: Nicola and Jacopo did all sorts of odd jobs in order to. 3 choices go like this: A, immigrate to America; B, pay for their sister's treatment; C, become rich. The correct answer to this question is pay for their sister's treatment. Therefore, when you attempt such multiple choice questions, you must choose the correct answer, that is B. For this question, B is the correct answer. And if you just write B in your answer booklet, you will be awarded 0. On the other hand, you ought to rewrite the answer, that is, pay for their sister's treatment. If you do not write this, you will be awarded 0 marks. Hence, when you are answering multiple choice questions, you must choose the correct answer and rewrite it in your answer booklet. This is one very important question, rather, one important instruction that you have to remember. And coming to the length, prescribed length, I have told you how you have to answer 1-mark questions. Now, I'll be telling you how to write, rather, what length you must stick on to when you are answering 4 marks questions. The instruction goes like this: answer any 8 of the following, choosing at least 2 from poems in a paragraph of 80 to 100 words each. I repeat the instruction: answer any 8 of the following, choosing at least 2 from poems in a paragraph of 80 to 100 words. And these questions are for 4 marks, and you have to answer 8 questions. Remember, you have to answer 8 questions. And the most important instruction is you have to write, or rather attempt, 2 questions from poetry, which is a must. Therefore, when you write answers 4 marks, when you attempt 4 marks questions, you must bear this in mind. That is, you ought to choose 2 from poetry. It is compulsory. Therefore, you have to prepare very well for poetry also. And when it comes to 6 marks, 6 marks questions, the prescribed limit is 200 words. The prescribed limit is 200 words. Here, 3 questions are asked, and out of 3, you ought to write 1 question. And the prescribed limit is 200 words. This is all from prose and poetry section. And when it comes to 4 marks questions, I told you that you ought to answer 8 questions. And in this section, that is 4 marks questions, totally you have 10 questions, and out of 10, you must answer 8. So, the first main, you have to answer 1 mark questions, and in the second main question, you have to answer 4 marks questions, and in the third main question, you have to answer 6 marks questions. You have choice in the second and third main questions. 1 mark questions, there are 12 in total, and 4 marks questions, you have to answer 8. That's 8 fours are 32. 32 plus 12 is 44, and 1 6 marks question, it becomes 50 marks. As I told you earlier, the section prose and poetry is for 50 marks. Dear students, remember these instructions and follow the same. Best of luck to all of you. Thank you.